football team that will present a challenge, while Bruce Arians had a high compliment for Aaron Rodgers, saying that he was the one who truly invented manipulating defenses with his eyes. Fox Sports NFL analyst Michael Vick joining us now. Mike, are you going Brady or Rodgers with this one?
I'm going Rodgers with this one. This is what Aaron Rodgers been asking for all season. This is what he wanted: home playoff advantage throughout. You know, the home game, NFC Championship game to be hosting, and I think more so than anyone in the National Football League right now, Aaron Rodgers understands that this championship, you know, in this totality, is great and a necessity for his career. You know, Tom Brady, on the other hand, he's got 6 rings. He's got it all. And, you know, if Tom win it this year, then we won't get Tom next year. And this year was a very entertaining season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and for all the viewers and everybody who had a chance to, you know, speculate on this year's season. You know, it was great watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go through what they went through and coming out of it on the winning side. You know, now they face the one of the hottest teams and one of the best teams in the NFL in the Green Bay Packers. But I got to say that the Green Bay Packers look like the most complete team in the National Football League when you look at it. And I think Aaron Rodgers is playing some of his best football. That goes without saying. Tom as well. But, you know, I think it's going to come down to a lot of different things. You know, the mishaps, you know, on both sides. The total team effort, I think, you know, on both sides. And you know, it's just going to come down to whoever make the least amount of mistakes, as we all say, who don't have the most turnovers and mishaps, and, you know, who can score the most points. But I think in the end, it'll be Aaron Rodgers on top.
Skip, I was looking, I was on social media yesterday, and I think it was in Atlanta, and Aaron Rodgers is sitting on the bench with Jordy Nelson, and the game is winding down, and he says, we got to get one of these things at our place. And, you know, and that was a couple of years
ago. They were losing
Right. Yep. He's like, we got to get one of these things at our place, because that plays a world of difference, and that's what he's wanted. He said, I believe the reason why I haven't been to more Super Bowls is because I've had to take the show on the road, and I've had to play in basically ideal conditions for Atlanta was a perfectly turf team. The Seattle have to go outdoors. He said, I want somebody to come to Green Bay when it's 20 degrees and it's freezing. I want the advantage. That's the purpose of me playing. He got what he wanted, Skip. You can't ask for a better situation. It's kind of like if I'm an actor, Skip, and you give me an actor, you give me the perfect script. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to get an award for this one.
Except the script includes the GOAT coming to you.
Don't worry about it. I don't care who the actor I'm up against. You give me the perfect script, and I got it. This is the perfect script. This is it. This is Lonzo, and this is Denzel Lonzo in Training Day. That's what this is, Skip Bayless. What's your favorite? You like Brando. You like Brando. Okay? Who's your favorite actor?
I like Training Day. I'll take Training Day. Thank you.
He was unbelievable. Fan too. So yeah. if you get some guys are just made for certain roles. This is it, Skip. You know, we can give you X and O. They take care of the football. Mike, you understand this. Turnovers going to play a huge part. Who gets protected the best? But sometimes it just comes down to who won it. Who going to make the play? What team going to make the play, Skip? Sometimes it just comes down to that.
I agree. So before I launch, back to Michael Vick. Michael, did you suggest if somehow Brady wins this Sunday and wins the Super Bowl, that he would then call it a career and walk into the sunset?
Absolutely. I think it'll be something that be resurrected, you know, that Tom probably don't want to deal with in terms of retirement. You know, it's a 2-year deal, $50 million, which means he's coming back for another season, which is why I understand. And I think that Tom is just having such a good year and having so much fun, even though it's a little turmoil in between. He wants to come back for that next year. If he wins the Super Bowl this year, that'll be 7, and he'll be 4. And, you know, the question will be, is it worth him coming back? And I just don't think we need that. Like I said earlier, we need that entertainment from Tom, and I'm not ready for him to go yet. If he wins the Super Bowl this year, I think he'll be forced into that action.
I don't. I think he'd say.
I think he'd be more determined than ever to come back.
Huh?
Yeah. I think he'd be more determined than ever to come back.
And it's not about the money. He and Giselle, they got some money.
They're good on the money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they full up.
Okay.
They full.
So, Michael, There's one man in sports I don't bet against. When the chips get pushed to the middle of the table, it's Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. And I love him even more in this game because all the pressure, as you guys just laid out, it's all on the home quarterback because he got his dream come true. He's got Lambeau, middle of January. There are going to be at least snow showers in the morning. There'll be some snow in and around the edges of the field. And he says he's as healthy as he's ever been. This is his moment, his time. He hasn't won a Super Bowl or been to a Super Bowl in 10 years, and that was his one and only. It's all on Aaron Rodgers. Meanwhile, Brady has brought the sucking ears to a boil right on time. They're playing by far their best football at the worst possible moment for Aaron Rodgers to realize his dream coming true. And I remind everybody, it's going to come down to which quarterback gets protected. Brady obviously has to be protected. What's been happening for 6 weeks? His offensive line has been flawless. At New Orleans, I didn't even know that Cam Jordan played in the game. Oniata, and obviously Trey Hendrickson had a neck problem, but they were just nowhere to be seen after they had terrorized Tom at Tampa Bay back in that night game and terrorized him on opening day at New Orleans. That offensive line has gelled and come of age right before your very eyes. They don't even give up pressures anymore. So are you telling me that all of a sudden Green Bay's going to rise and shine and terrorize him at Lambeau?
Well, first the thing they got
brothers.
Well, they got to stop the run first because if you look at the last 6 weeks, they've been able to run the football a little better than what they have in the past, and so that's opened up the play action, which has also allowed Tom Brady an extra couple of seconds to throw the football. So you got to shut off the run first. You got to make him one-dimensional. If you leave them the option, and that's what New Orleans started doing, Skip. They gave him a two-way go. They rushed. They looked because the first time it was the last game they played them, 5 rush attempts. Now look where they went to.
But this is all new. It came the last month. Go ahead, Michael.
I mean, you look at the Green Bay Packers defense on all 3 levels. It's just structure everywhere. And we questioned, could they stop the run early in the season? And I think they got better at that. The linebackers, they're not household names, but they sturdy guys who, they hold down the fort. And then I think, the best part of that defense is the secondary, from safety to corners. And these guys are gelling and playing together. So when I said earlier the most complete team, I said it because offensively and defensively, they're connecting and gelling.
Okay, but I thought New Orleans had at least as good a secondary, right?
It's close. They don't have the big. They don't have a Jair Alexander. But let me know what, Skip.
I don't know.
You know what could be a major factor? And Tampa's been slacking on this a lot. Special teams. You see, New Orleans took advantage of it, had great field position, ran one back, got it called back.
Now you're having to reach for special teams for an edge.
I'll tell you, one of my biggest fears when I played was playing against 2 dominant pass rushers. I can deal with one, whether he's the front side or back side. But when you got 2, that means you're relying on both of your tackles to be sturdy. You're relying on those guys to be solid for 4 quarters, and it's just not easy when you got the best of the best going head-to-head. I just say that.
Okay, but Michael, JPP, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, who's turning into a superstar right before your very eyes and is their best pass rusher, Tampa might have 3. And I didn't even mention Sue, who can get loose up the middle.
Green Bay's offensive line has been unbelievable the last month.
Except they lost the left tackle, who's the best in football, Bakhtiari.
But even then, you watch them last week, Skip, they did a number on the Rams.
They did, but again, it was because Aaron Donald just couldn't go.
Well, y'all don't have an Aaron Donald.
Well, who does?
Exactly.
According to you, according to most people, he's the best who ever played the position.
He's the best they see it currently. But
his front 7 is decent.
Yeah, yeah. But what they do is that they try to make you one-dimensional because they shut off your run, and then they all of a sudden start playing the run on the way to the quarterback. And that's what they did to Aaron in the first time around, Skip. Yeah. They couldn't run the ball a lick. And then, y'all can't run it, and here come Todd Bowles bringing guys.
Okay, I remind you, last week, Aaron Rodgers had the most rush yards in a playoff game he's ever benefited from against the Rams, 188 rush yards. Tampa, what do they do best? That's the one thing I'll hang my hat and helmet on is they stop the run. It's hard to run against that front because of those two linebackers.
Well, you better not let them get 100+, because if they get 100+, they're going to win this game easy.
Okay, well, I don't think they will. Are you sure that they're going to protect Aaron Rodgers? They're going to keep him clean? Is he going to say after the game like he did against the Rams, I was barely touched?
The only reason they're going to clean the uniform because of COVID protocols. Other than that, they're going to have a sticker. Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers riding real high right now, and momentum is real. You know, Shane, the mojo.
It's made for certain roles. This is it, Skip. You know, we can give you X and O, they take care of the football. Mike, you understand this. Turnovers going to play a huge part. Who gets protected the best? But sometimes it just comes down to who won it? Who going to make the play? What team going to make the play, Skip? Sometimes it just comes down to that.
I agree. So before I launch, back to Michael Vick. Michael, did you suggest if somehow Brady wins this Sunday and wins the Super Bowl,